Next, we're going to pull straight from the headlines. Slow down. A Michigan mom texts son. Next, we're going to pull straight from the headlines. This is USA Today. Slow down. Michigan mom texts to son may come back to haunt her. Just weeks before he killed his friend in a car crash, Michigan teenager Kieran Tague was blasting across highways at more than 140 miles per hour in his family's Audi Sport Coupe, photographing the speedometer and getting texts from his mom saying to slow down. Now, I want to say, as respectfully as possible, that this is definitely for sensitive ears only. If you don't want to hear something morbid, then you may want to just stop watching now. According to police, his mom knew about his driving habits, though a special safety app called Life 360 and once texted through a special app called Life 360 and once texted him, I have screenshots of you doing 123 miles per hour. It scares me to my bone. Now let's just stop here. This is not in any way anything against the mother. You give a 16-year-old some keys to a really fast sports car, or keys to any type of vehicle, you do run the risk of having an accident. So I am coming at this from a perspective of non-judgment. But we are going to talk about the actions that were taken here. Again, this is for learning purposes, not to be insensitive to anyone involved. My thoughts go to this family. She didn't take his keys away. She bought a faster and more powerful car and allegedly gave him access to it. It's a BMW X3 series, M series, that can reach up to 177 miles per hour. And that's what Kieran, the young man, was driving the night he lost control at 105 miles per hour on a residential street in Grosse Pointe Farms, a Detroit suburb, hitting a pole and then tree, killing his passenger, 18-year-old Flynn McCrell, a stellar 6'4" swimmer known for his gentle ways, easy smile, and shaggy red hair. Family wants the mom charged. He was speeding over and over, and the mom knew it. So the McCrell's family is asking Wayne County prosecutor Kim Worthy to pursue criminal charges against the driver's mom, Elizabeth. Much like another Michigan prosecutor, Oakland County's Karen McDonald sought parental accountability after the deadly mass shooting at Oxford High School in 2021. She charged the gunman's parents, James and Jennifer Crumley, who were convicted of involuntary manslaughter this year in a landmark prosecution that put parents everywhere on notice. As a parent, right action is very important because your children learn directly from you. And as a child, your consequences do come back to not only haunt you, but they can haunt everyone around you if you're careless. So when we think of right action, we need to think of it in the terms of not just what's good for me or what's best for me in the moment or depending on how I'm feeling, but what's best all around. I'm sure having the ability to provide your child with a beautiful machine like a BMW is a privilege. But when we give this to our children, do we know what we're doing? When we give these machines and we even know or understand that they're already using it improperly, what are we doing? So the actions do fall on the parents as well. It's not just the young teen individual. So it will be interesting to see how going forward families deal with this sort of thing. But just remember your actions, and as a parent, the actions you permit, they can change our children's lives. They change our children's lives, their friends' lives, the families around them are impacted. And again, I just want to just say that I really, really am so sorry for the family who lost a child. Also, very, very, very sad for that 16-year-old whose future, whose future is now completely in limbo because their parents didn't know how to practice right action. And most importantly, I think this is a lesson to us um, all of us, especially if you're a parent. Um, we're not that far off from being able to make those same mistakes. That's why right mindfulness is very important. That's why right speech is very important. That is right. Right action is very important. Right effort, right thought, right understanding, right concentration, all of them. If if these families had practiced this early on, and I can say that about myself in a lot of different situations, that 18-year-old might still be here. So that'll wrap up my message on right action. Next, we will go into right livelihood. We are going to look at some real-time events going on in the world. We're going to see these industries and corporations that we are reliant on for our livelihoods. Are they paying adequately? Are they offering the benefits that we need? Maybe, maybe not. And then if there are industries that are providing right livelihood, we definitely want to highlight them, and we want to encourage people to shop with them, utilize their companies, businesses. We want to spread the word. So let me know in the comment section any companies that you know of that have right livelihood for our next conversation. And let me know your thoughts on right action. Thank you. Have a good one. I want to start by giving some examples of right action and wrong action. And this is something very simple. We're just going to put out there to get a good um, base on what is right action and what would be considered wrong action. And again, right and wrong are dualities, right? There's no up without down. There's no right without wrong. There's no in without out. So you have to look at each one as what it is as it applies to you. So let's just talk about, I'm going to give you an example of right action, wrong action. It's very simple to understand. Helping a neighbor in need. Now we would consider that to be right action, right? But what about stealing and taking what's not been given to you? Obviously, we would say that would be wrong action. Donating to a charity, we might consider that to be right action. But in engaging in physical violence, we would say would not be right action. That would be wrong action. Volunteering at a community center, right action. Lying and deceiving others, wrong action. Recycling and reducing waste, right action. Polluting the environment, wrong action. How about protecting animals and our environment? Right action. What about exploiting others for personal gain? That would definitely be deemed wrong action. So, in organisms in biology, we have something called predatory behavior. Now, predators showcase remarkable action in their hunting strategies. Consider the cheetah sprint, designed for high-speed pursuits, or the calculated ambush of a crocodile waiting patiently for its prey. These actions involve precision, coordination, and timing to capture food effectively. So would that then be considered right action? Predators in the animal kingdom, well, that's kind of their job. That's kind of how the animal kingdom works. There's a hierarchy, and one animal eats the next animal, and the next animal eats that animal, and then the next animal eats that animal. So where it is predatory, and in a lot of instances we would say that was wrong, that is how the animal kingdom runs. Next, we have migratory patterns. Many species exhibit action in their migration behaviors. Birds such as the Arctic tern, cover vast distances between breeding and feeding grounds. These migrations involve coordinated actions like flying, resting, feeding, and navigating across diverse landscapes. Plants may seem passive, but they exhibit fascinating actions in response to stimuli. For example, they show tropic movements, like phototropism, which is growth towards the light, or gravitropism, which is a response to gravity. Mimosa pudica, also known as the sensitive plant, folds its leaves when touched, showcasing rapid action in response to stimuli. We also have reproductive strategies. Action in reproduction spans various techniques across organisms, from elaborate courtship dances of birds to the intricate mating rituals of insects. These actions aim to attract mates, ensure successful reproduction, and sometimes establish dominance within a species. There's also defense mechanisms in organisms in biology, right? So, organisms display diverse actions for self defense. The ink release of an octopus when threatened, the venomous bite of a snake, or the protective spines of a porcupine. All these actions serve as defense mechanisms to ward off predators or threats. Now, these examples illustrate how action in organisms encompasses a wide spectrum of behaviors, from locomotion and hunting to defense mechanisms and intricate responses to environmental stimuli. Each action is finely tuned to enhance an organism's survival, reproduction, or adaptation to its surroundings. Next, we're going to talk about what right action looks like in the field of academics. Researchers engage in actions like designing experiments, collecting data, and conducting analysis. For instance, in a scientific study, researchers meticulously plan and execute experiments to test hypotheses, record observations, and gather empirical evidence. Now, another one in the field of academics would be teaching and instruction. Another one in the field of academics would be teaching and instruction. Educators and professors undertake actions to impart knowledge and facilitate learning. This involves preparing lesson plans, delivering lectures, conducting interactive activities, and engaging students through discussions or experiments to promote understanding. Another form of right action would be in writing and publication. Academic action often involves writing scholarly papers, theses, or dissertations. Scholars compile research findings, theories, and analysis into cohesive written works, right? Contributing to the body of knowledge in their respective fields. What does right action look like in another area of academics? Well, let's look at conference and presentations. Engaging in conferences, seminars, and symposiums is another academic action. Scholars present their findings, exchange ideas, and receive feedback from peers, fostering collaboration and intellectual growth within their disciplines. Next, we'll discuss just a few more ways within the animal kingdom that right action is represented. Predators showcase various hunting actions. For example, wolves hunt in packs, displaying coordinated actions to corner and capture prey. Similarly, the hunting strategy of a spider involves intricate webs and using stealth to catch its prey. Now, in communication and social interactions within the animal kingdom, animals often communicate through their actions. Bees perform elaborate dances to convey information about food sources, while primates use grooming as a social bond action within their group. There are mating rituals and courtship displays. Many species engage in courtship or elaborate courtship actions. Birds perform intricate dances or display vibrant plumage to attract mates. And peacocks, for example, flaunt their ornate tails in courtship displays. Another area in the animal kingdom where you will see right action would be migration and navigation. For instance, the annual migration of wild beasts across the Serengeti involves coordinated movement and navigation across vast distances to reach feeding and breeding grounds. I love that one more than anything because it's nature. It just proves that nature is going to nature and we are nature too. Also, right action within the animal kingdom would be considered defense mechanisms. Animals employ diverse actions for defense. Some puff up their size to appear more significant and deter predators, while others, like the chameleon, change color to blend into their surroundings. The skunk's action of releasing a foul smell of spray serves as defense mechanism against potential threats. So I want to give a few more examples of right action in general. Supporting refugees, right? Volunteering with organizations that assist refugees fleeing war-torn areas would be considered right action. Environmental activism, participating in initiatives to reduce plastic waste and promote sustainability. Or how about joining movements that advocate for racial equality and justice? Now, let's go over a few more examples of negative action. We have violence or engaging in supporting violent action during political or social protests. We have contributing to or ignoring the exploitation of workers in developing countries for cheap goods. This one also falls under right livelihood. And also participating in or supporting the illegal poaching and trafficking of endangered species. Again, wrong action.